From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Well, good morning, everyone. Just want to share some of the pictures from yesterday morning. Went out to the Montague Hot Air Balloon Fair, and what a spectacular sight. You know, I went several years ago, and unfortunately, the morning I went was a morning that they had to cancel the flight because of weather conditions. So perfect conditions. It was a little hazy out there. You couldn't smell the smoke, so the smoke wasn't too bad either. So there's a beautiful sight there. Of course, there's my wife and myself with the balloons in the background, and her hat says it right there. It was about 40 degrees when we were out there, and a little chilly, I think, for some. A lot of us were wearing hats, including myself and my wife, but it warmed up through the afternoon. It made for a beautiful day out there yesterday. I think no matter where you were, I mean, even the coast did see a lot of in the way of cloud cover out there, but overall, just a gorgeous fall day for your Saturday. Today, though, we're going to start to see some changes. I think we're going to start to see more clouds. Temperatures will start to drop, but what I'm tracking here is heavy coastal and mountain rain. Now, what I mean by that is, I think most of the mountain rain and the heaviest mountain rain will basically be north and west of the valley. So western Siskiyou County, Trinity County, the mountains of Delaware and Humboldt County, and of course the coast. Everywhere else we'll see rain, just not as much. And we'll of course cover that in complete detail here in a second. And with that heavy rainfall, we're talking about the threat for some localized flooding, not to mention some mudslides and debris flows out there. And it's not just the rain we're concerned about. I'm also concerned about those winds. The winds will be picking up for everyone. I think some of the strongest winds will be along the coast, in the central Siskiyou County area, in that Shasta Valley area, and then of course some of those exposed mountain ridges. But the valley also is seeing some gusty winds at points as well. And we're going to go through all of that too. Look at the smoke this morning. Still some smoke around Wairika, northern and central Siskiyou County. Another big plume of smoke develops later this afternoon and evening, but then once the main event of rain moves in, it squashes all of that smoke and things clear out. So the rain moves in and the clouds begin, or excuse me, the smoke begins to move on out. So that will at least be some nice relief from the smoke, and it will help in the firefighting efforts as well, of course. So what we're getting set up with is an atmospheric river. There you can clearly see this stream of moisture. It's a thin stream that's aimed right at Northern California, and it's wherever that's aimed is where we typically see the heaviest amount of rainfall. So see where it's aimed? Northwestern California. Not as much as you head off into eastern portions of California, but we will see some rain for everyone in Northern California, just some a lot more than others. Now, I'm seeing here the potential of a weaker atmospheric river moving in by around Wednesday, but at this point, I'm not including any rain, and then that moves on out and things begin to dry out as well by the time we get to the end of next week. Now, we're going to tackle next week's rain when we get to that. But this is what it looks like today. We're basically going to be looking at those clouds moving in, and you see how we're seeing some showers here and there. I think everyone, including the valley, the mountains, the inland areas, the coast, everyone will see a chance for some light showers. Maybe a passing sprinkle. You can see some areas like Modoc County, for example, maybe seeing a brief heavier shower, but it won't last for very long. So today is not the main event. Today is kind of the in-between the beautiful weather we saw yesterday to much cooler and not to mention wetter weather we'll have tomorrow. And today's that transition with the clouds moving in. We're beginning to saturate the atmosphere. It may get just saturated enough for a passing sprinkle or a light shower, but at this point, I wouldn't cancel any of those outdoor plans. All right, now I'm going to take you into Monday morning. That's tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Here's that atmospheric river aimed right at Northern California. Now, what we're seeing here is the bulk of the rain in Delaware County. Everyone else is pretty much dry. I mean, even not much rain for Humboldt. We're beginning to see some of that rain just begin to kind of push in. Now, let's take you to about noon. You see how it kind of shifts eastward. So now we're seeing less rain for Delaware County, but now it's all of Humboldt, Trinity County, western Siskiyou County. Look at everyone else. It's dry still by the noon hour. And in fact, we're still seeing plenty of sunshine for many of us as well. Now I want to take you to about 5 p.m. on Monday. You see where that atmospheric river is now? It's over all of Trinity County, most of Siskiyou County, the northern portion of Shasta County and the valley beginning to see some of that rain as well, especially out in Redding. But again, 5 o'clock on Monday, notice Red Bluff, especially Chico Willows, you're still dry. You're still dry in El Turris and in the eastern mountains, still dry through the day on Monday. It's not until Monday evening, Monday night, that rain begins to move in. In fact, you can see that here. Here's Monday night at 10 p.m. Now, what's happening is the atmospheric river is pushing to the south. And what's happening is we're just kind of getting some of that leftover moisture, and we're still seeing some rain in Modoc County, eastern mountains just east of the valley. Still some leftover showers Monday night for the valley. You can see around Chico as well. So let's take a look at the long range here. We're going to take into Tuesday morning. There still may be some leftover showers. So the atmospheric river is gone at this point. The atmospheric river is now down to our south. But there's going to be some leftover moisture in place. And we may be able to see a few light showers Tuesday morning, but then by Tuesday afternoon, it looks like it dries out. And remember, Wednesday was that weak atmospheric river I was telling you about. We're seeing the potential for some off and on showers starting Wednesday through Saturday of next week, but the forecast models are all over the place with that. So we've just got to get through this first atmospheric river before we really start to tackle next Wednesday through the end of next week. And we'll get a better handle on how much, if we see any rainfall really toward the end of next week. Rainfall totals, the forecast model has been kind of going back and forth as much as 3 inches in some areas, but here you can see between 1 and 2 inches. So I think on average 1 to 3 inches, and you can see most of it is in the extreme northwest. Del Norte County, western Siskiyou County. Humboldt County is going to see the second highest amount of rain. Then we head eastward into Trinity County. That's where we see a decent amount of rain. But notice east of that, just not nearly as impressive. Now, I think there's a chance Redding could see more than 1/10 of an inch of rain. It depends on how long that atmospheric river decides to kind of hang out over the north end of the valley. But I do anticipate to see much less down to the south, especially in Chico, and not to mention in the eastern mountains. Again, keep in mind, this is the whole event. This is basically Sunday all the way through next Tuesday night. So you can see, again, not very impressive off to the east. Now, with all of that said, with where I said the heaviest amount of rainfall is going to be, there it is. Del Norte, Humboldt, western Siskiyou County. Quite honestly, I think there's a chance the Weather Service may eventually put Trinity County in part of that flood watch as well. That's basically for Sunday through Monday, where we expect to see some of that heaviest rainfall. And again, the main event will be on Monday. And the winds, I think we're going to see this kind of change as well. I think some areas are going to get included, others are going to maybe be taken out. But bottom line, I think everyone in Northern California is going to see some form of wind, some just much higher than others. So here we are, Sunday, that's today at 3 p.m. Really the main winds we see today will be in the Shasta Valley here. There's that I-5 corridor in central Siskiyou County. Elsewhere, I mean, a little breezy, but it's not going to be terrible. We see this really gusty winds here off the coast. That's what's going to be in store for the coast by the time we get into Monday morning. Here's Monday morning at 8 a.m. There you can see upwards of 30 mile an hour sustained winds for the coast. And look at this right here. Look at Siskiyou County. We're seeing areas that are going to see some very gusty winds here. This is where, at this point, we have the potential for downed trees and power outages. But look at the valley. Look at off to the east. Not as bad. There are going to be some exposed ridges that could possibly see some higher winds off to the east. But overall, the main pattern here, not very strong winds for Monday morning to the eastern mountains. But look at this. By noon, the winds still pretty gusty for the coast. Very gusty. Again, this is where we're seeing the potential for downed trees, power outages, central Siskiyou County. But look at this. I mean, now we're starting to see it come into the into Modoc County, eastern mountains, the valley, getting in on some of these gusty winds as well. This is Monday at noon. Now we're going to take Monday at 4 p.m. Look what's happening. Winds are dying down significantly for Trinity County, western Siskiyou County to the coast. But now, again, where we're starting to see some of the heavier rainfall in the atmospheric river, gusty winds for the valley, gusty winds for the eastern mountains. And then by Monday night, early Tuesday morning, I think the winds will die down significantly across the board. Wave heights, this is what it looks like for this afternoon. 10 to 11 feet, especially to start heading off to the north and west. But look at this, as we go into Monday, that atmospheric river moves in. We're looking at some pretty high wave heights. This is not probably a good idea to be out on the ocean, on your vessel, on Monday. All right, so let's take a look at your marine forecast. South winds at 10 to 20 knots, waves from the northwest at 5 feet at about 9 seconds. There's your high tide today at 9:37 this morning, your low tide at 1:52 in the afternoon, and there is that small craft advisory. So here's what it looks like today. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s for the valley. We're going to see the clouds overhead. We're also going to see the potential for a stray shower or a sprinkle, but that's really going to be it. Sunday, today, is not going to be the main event of the rain. It's going to be tomorrow. And you saw that on Futurecast. So we look at our 7-day outlook, and again, it's kind of listening I kind of have to explain. Light showers for everyone on Sunday. The main event for Mount Shasta will probably be around midday on Monday. For Alturas and Susanville, probably late afternoon, early evening when the bulk of the rain moves in. Still a chance for a leftover shower for everyone on Tuesday before it dries out, most likely for Wednesday through the end of next week. Here's the valley forecast. Again, today, a stray sprinkle or light shower. Still go out, do your outdoor activities. Just know you may run into a stray shower, light one, but it won't be that bad. Now, we take you into Monday. That's where things get more interesting. By around midday, I think Redding will see the heaviest rainfall. By around late afternoon, late evening, I think Red Bluff and Chico will begin to see some rain. But the first half of the day, Red Bluff, Chico, you're going to be dry, right? And then maybe a slight chance on Tuesday, drying out by Wednesday all the way through the end of next week into that next weekend. Your 7-day outlook for the coast, maybe some stray showers today. Nothing heavy is expected. Heaviest rainfall will be in the morning for the coast, inland, and for Weaverville. Although by midday, now you're starting to see some heavy rainfall for Weaverville, and then a chance for some leftover showers on Tuesday, and then it looks like it'll dry out for now for Wednesday through the end of next week into next weekend.